here tonight, where great minds drink alike. Whoa, twisty weather. Staying here tonight, where great minds drink alike.
You're listening to WeP3 Radio on the Foxhole Radio Network. Currently playing Whiskey Weather by Deanna Wheeler.
Twisty weather. Chat time.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it up.
Doctors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it up.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the People's Patriot Project. And we got your 6 at 6. This is Andrea Eichmann here. And we are, we're here to entertain as well as educate. That's what we're going to do tonight. First off, I'm going to share this little WeP3 radio station. It's growing and growing. We've got new songs coming in all the time. It is WeP3 Radio, and you can find it on live65.com. Go take a listen. Our first responders and our veterans who play music will appreciate you. I will start out tonight with letting you know that we're here every week at 1800 Central Time, and I don't care if it's standard or daylight, it's 1800 Central Time, and we bring you a new guest and a new musician and share all the good and sometimes the not so good things that are happening in our world. This week, our guests are super amazing. We have got Mike Wall with Bottle Breacher, and he'll be sharing his business and his mission and why he does this and how he does this. And then we will have music shared with us by Amanda Pruitt. She's coming from Nashville tonight. So please ask your questions. Join us in our discussions. Let us know your thoughts. Be nice, please, especially to Peterson. He's very soft today. The rest of us, we can take a little bit, but look out for Pause Peterson. Before we get started, though, folks, I would like to ask you to take off your hat, stand if you can, and join us for the People's Patriot Project. No, my gosh. Yeah, it is the People's Patriot Project. I'm so sorry. For the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wow.
Let's grow. Here we go. For those who don't know, we actually used the let's grow instead of let's go. That helped us with contagion effect. But we're looking for the positivity. We're looking for doing the real positive things. One of the things that we know a lot of our brothers and sisters struggle with PTSD. And we had a member come on one time and say, let's call it PTS growth. And I don't hate that idea. Not that it's not important for people to understand where they are, when they are, and how they are. It's important to let others know so we can get you where you need to go. Thank you for everyone being here tonight. We got the amazing Amanda Pruitt, amazing vocalist. I was doing a little bit of research, we'll call it research, and she's got this song. I'm like, you know what, this is a really important song to play for today, considering this month is Women's Appreciation Month. And I quickly noted back to her that should be every month, every day, every place. But I know we get to play the game, and I'm going to raise up the females that have done amazing things in our lives, and from moms to sisters to the spouses. Thank you all for being that glue to hold our military and active, our veteran, and our first responders. It goes the other way too, but we'll recognize all those and then those women that have served. Thank you for what you have done, being about something bigger than you, something that makes sure that we are taking care of our community and country. We greatly appreciate you. We know why we get to do this. We get to do this because of the service members and first responders that have committed their time, sweat, blood, limbs, family, and life for the sake that we can lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom daily. And for the most part, not really have to worry about much. Yes, you have to be responsible and take care of the things, but for the most part, no one's coming in your back door and taking it from you. It's happening across the world right now. And please let it be known you get to say what you say because other people have given you the opportunity because of our First Amendment rights, because we had men and women willing to fight for us to go do that. So that's the truth. Outside of that, check out this amazing panel. We got Mike Wall. Oh my gosh, he's got a story. He's got a product. We love what they do over there at Bottle Breacher. And then we got our regulars. Thank you, Miss Kimmer, for being here, and the WeP3 team. Mr. Jonathan, you got something for the news?
I do. As Mark mentioned earlier, March is Women's History Month. Since 1987, the United States has formally recognized March as National Women's History Month. In 2023, the theme was celebrating women who tell our stories, and it would recognize women in our communities who use storytelling to shape our futures. In 2024, the theme is Women Who Advocate for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. It recognizes women throughout the country who understand that for a positive future, we need to eliminate bias and discrimination entirely from our lives and institutions. If you go and check out the VA Center for Women Veterans, there are webinars taking place on Thursdays this month. The 14th is about memorial affairs, and the 21st is about benefits for women. So the VA website, head on over to Center for Women's Veterans and get yourself registered for all these webinars if you're interested in attending those. There's something we missed last week, and I'm going to go back and cover it today. March 5th marks the 82nd birthday of the Navy Seabees. March 5th, 1942, the United States Navy employed construction battalions, more commonly known as Seabees. Over the years, the Seabees have served in all major American conflicts, supported humanitarian efforts, and helped build communities and nations around the globe. They are responsible for building bases and thousands of miles of roadways, as well as building airstrips to support the military in times of war and peace. The name Seabees actually comes from the initials of the construction battalion, CB. There is a CB memorial that was dedicated in 1972 at Arlington National Cemetery. And the memorial is inscribed with the Seabees motto, "Can do," and the phrase, "With willing hearts and skillful hands, the difficult we do at once, the impossible takes a bit longer." Another inscription on the base of the memorial that I enjoyed was, "With compassion for others we build. We fight for peace with freedom." And I don't know, those are some standout quotes to me. Today, if you don't know, for at least, most of us, not all of us, it's daylight savings time. So if you haven't done it yet, go change the clock on your coffee pot, because tomorrow morning when you wake up, your coffee is not going to be brewed when you expect it to. So do that. It's very important stuff. March 13th is K-9 Veterans Day, and K-9s serve vital roles in the military and law enforcement. They get embedded in Border Patrol, Customs, airports, Coast Guard, FBI, police, and even the Secret Service. Service dogs often risk their health and lives to accomplish their missions. It's only fair that we should celebrate their efforts at least once a year. One such dog, Sergeant Stubby, would become the most decorated dog in military history. Sergeant Stubby was a stray that found his way into the heart of a soldier and was smuggled more or less onto a departing troop ship. By the time he was discovered, Sergeant Stubby had already been trained to perform a modified version of the salute, and the commanding officer would allow him to remain on board. Stubby served with the 102nd Infantry Regiment. He was once wounded in the front retreating Germans that were throwing grenades. He was sent to the rear for recovery, and while there, he did nothing but improve the morale of the soldiers that were in recovery. After he recovered, he was sent back to his unit and would later be injured again by mustard gas. And from that, he would learn to warn others of mustard gas attacks. He would hear the whistles of incoming mortar rounds before the troops would, and he would warn them all to take cover. He also would become very adept at locating wounded troops in what they called no man's land. He was solely responsible for capturing a German spy, and for this, the unit commander would nominate Stubby for the rank of sergeant. Stubby later was injured by another grenade and would ultimately receive 2 wound stripes. Stubby would pass in his sleep March 1926, and his remains were preserved and are part of the exhibit called Price of Freedom, Americans at War, the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. Every K-9 in service is given a rank, and that rank is usually higher than the rank of their handler to ensure that they are given the proper care and respect that they deserve. And that is it for the news.
Good stuff. Thank you for sharing that, Jonathan. We are a week away from St. Patrick's Day. What is on the menu for St. Patrick's Day? What do you got on the menu, Amanda?
I'm not sure actually. I am supposed to be heading to Mississippi on Thursday, and I really think I'm just going to relax and probably go turkey hunting.
Oh, wow. Nice.
The turkey season starts in Mississippi on the 14th or 15th, and I've never been.
Fair enough. Oh, did we lose audio?
Oh, yeah. She must have accidentally muted herself.
We'll get her back. Miss Eichmann. Let's see. Do we got the control on that? Maybe
Nope.
We can help. All right, Miss Eichmann, what are you going to do for St. Patrick's Day?
We have the traditional little brisket and cabbage with maybe some potatoes and carrots. That'll be
The
it.
traditional. Mike, do you do anything?
You know, it's my parents' wedding anniversary, so I hate to ask them to make cabbage and other
Sure.
the whole traditional thing. So I let them be, but it's a big holiday for us, right? I mean, we have product that we're pushing for St. Patrick's Day because it's a beer drinking holiday. So I mean, it's a big deal for us. So I'm gonna drink beer. I'm gonna open a Guinness, and with my 50 cal and
Okay.
and drink beer and have a good time and wear green so I don't get pinched. So
Is that Guinness going to be room temperature or is it going to be chilled in some form? I'm just trying to figure out.
I drink them cold. I mean, no one's upset with me, but I drink them cold, and I even mix them sometimes with some apple cider. So I know that sounds really foo-foo, but it's really good. So don't tell anybody, but I don't think anyone's listening right now.
Oh, ouch! Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Bro, did you just say you put it in apple cider?
don't know. I didn't say that.
Who said that?
Wood truck, next best thing.
All right, next. What are you doing, Mark?
Well, we'll get to me. I get to go last in this thing.
I am Irish, but I just I like to mix it up a little bit.
Is that a? I'm not trying to make fun of you. Is that a
Yeah.
drink? Do you put Guinness and apple cider?
Yeah, but it's not. It's alcoholic. It's you can do
like
pear cider or it's alcoholic. So it's 50-50. It's or a what do you call it? You can do a black and tan, right? Guinness and what is it called? Bass.
Oh yeah.
So,
But those are two beers.
So I just
I forgot about Bath.
yeah. So it's not. I don't think it may be a taboo, but I'm speaking freely here.
Well, I would like to try it. That's the whole thing. If it's good, I want to try it.
It's good, man. It takes the meal. You can only have half a meal, and then you have half you have your dessert, your meal and your dessert in one. It's a 2-course deal. Works out.
That's perfect. And Peterson, Irish beer can be cold. Germans don't drink their beer cold.
No,
Irish
it's
can drink it
stout.
cold.
Stouts are supposed to be room temperature,
Yeah.
according to snobs. I mean, and I would drink, of course.
You drink with the pinky up. That's what I need.
I had an in-law say I would drink pee out of a boot if I knew there was alcohol in it, which I don't know that is 100% wrong. And so if this has got, I'm willing to try it. I just don't want to be going down a rabbit hole that doesn't really exist. And here I am dumping cider into my Guinness, which it is what it is. But
Give it a shot.
I'm going to give it a shot. I am. I'm for sure. I'll be sending you a picture of me giving it a shot.
It's lower calories, I think. Or, no, actually, but Guinness is pretty low calories, but it doesn't make you feel as full. Like you need to go to take a nap afterwards. So it's pretty good. So.
Jonathan, what do you got rolling?
This is going to come as a shock, but there's a parade.
Whoa, really? Could still be Mardi Gras down there.
We got a parade for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually go out to the parade, and actually they throw a lot of the St. Patty's Day foods that you would eat, and you can catch carrots and all kind of potatoes, all kind of stuff, and then you take them home and wash them 2 or 3 times.
That is the craziest. I remember you telling me about that. Like they're throwing carrots from the floats.
If you can catch them.
Do you take like a fish net and just catch produce?
Some people do, yeah. They like hold a fish net out and they just drop them in the fish net. Otherwise, they throw like hand-sized potatoes as far as they can throw them, and you got to hope you catch them.
This seems a little dangerous too.
Taylor Fry. Good seeing you.
I mean,
Jason.
there's got to be some focus here. Yeah, I mean, you have to be paying attention because no one wants a tater on the noggin, man. That's
the parades in Louisiana are pretty serious, so I think
at least they're not throwing like pineapples or like yucca plants.
Yeah,
with pointy ends.
Fair enough.
A whole cabbage.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A whole cabbage.
Yeah.
And the grocery stores get together and donate a lot of these throws, and then the parade just it's kind of the way of giving back to the community, I guess. And people go out there and
that's the way it should be, Taylor. They need to make like alcohol in like little Tide Pod little creations, so they're nice and soft, and you can toss them out there, and then you can just drop them in your glass, add a little H2O, and we got to.
Sounds like a liability, man. Tide Pods.
We should take that to Shark Tank. We know a guy.
We put that in styrofoam cups and put it at a drive-through down here.
Yeah, but you can't throw it. You can't throw a styrofoam cup.
Styrofoam.
They don't need to throw it. They got their own.
Miss Winter, what do you
throw
got?
little bottles of liquor out during Mardi Gras all the time, or
sounds
not Mardi Gras,
terrible.
but St. Patty's Day. Yeah, it's
That sounds like a Halloween at the Peterson house. Actually, that they made someone in this household might do that. Hand out adult trick or treating. Got to card everyone at the door. You 18? Oops, 18's not old enough. Sorry, Miss Winter. What do you got going this coming weekend for St. Patty's Day?
Just wearing the green and eating some cabbage.
I like it.
Do you have a green hat, Kimmer?
Oh,
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Perfect.
nice.
She does not disappoint.
I learned how to cure my own corned beef.
Ooh.
And so I started, and today was the start date. I did that, got it all, the brisket trimmed up, got it all put in place. One of my most favorite. Now, when you add the pickling spices, I add them to the pan and toast them before I actually grind them and throw them in there. And the comment as I'm making this contraption or this pickling is it smells like Christmas. Okay. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Yes, it does smell like Christmas because you have those kind of earthy, spicy notes that, and yes, it does. It smells. But after you toast them, they get this amazing nutty flavor that is just, oh my gosh. It's aromating the house because that's a word that we use in Minnesota. Probably no one ever has, but it aromates the room, and it's my favorite part of the preparation. So, but apparently I'm going to be drinking cider and Guinness. I did buy an extra stout Guinness yesterday. An extra stout. I had to go that route, and then starting to prep for what is going to happen next weekend. To prep me for the next weekend, which I'm going to throw out there, we'll be live. We might be live, but we will be down in Thibodaux, Louisiana, for the first ever Shock and Awe Festival on the Bayou. And we'll be seeing some pieces involving Mr. Wall there. Maybe in the future, we'll be seeing Miss Amanda Pruitt in that area. She stomps around that space. But we've got 3 amazing artists coming on from the I was going to say Louisville. That's not the right word. Louisiana, the Louisiana area. We're going to have the amazing Josh Garrett and his band. We're going to have Blake Luquette and Michael Moss, all veterans, all first responders, and we are stoked. Jonathan's team has been doing amazing down there, and we will be on the University of Nickel campus. Thank them for the amazing efforts they put forward. But the first ever WeP3 Shock and Awe Fest on the Bayou down in Thibodaux, March 23rd. What time does it start, Jonathan?
It's going to start at noon and it'll go till 8.
You did a terrible job. Me, about getting a graphic up there because that would have helped a lot, right?
I'm sorry. I was thinking about going get it, but I thought too long.
That's my fault. I was like, hey, I'm talking about it. I sprung it on them. I didn't even tell them we're going to do it. Why would anyone know? It's my fault. So we're so excited and the amazing. Can you rattle off, Jonathan, from the hip, because you're so much better at this than me, some of the amazing sponsors we have for that event?
Oh, yeah. We got I was until you asked me. We got PBC Services. They're pneumatic bulk conveying systems. They pump concrete. They're veteran friendly, family oriented company. We have Trent Air Conditioning. We have Cleaner Image. Patrick Yancey Law Firm. There's a couple of donors who preferred to stay anonymous, but if they're listening, they know who they are. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I know there's somebody I'm forgetting. Sea Level Construction. There we go.
Well, thank you to all those sponsors, and thank you for
in the back. I'm in the back. I'm sponsoring you guys too, by the way.
Well, he is sponsoring us, and we got some stuff going. And Bottle Breacher and Mike Wall, yes. I haven't shared the extent, Mr. Wall, yet, but we'll get there. And in fact, why don't we just do it right now a little bit? Check this out.
And I don't want no one to cry, but tell them if I don't survive, I was born free. I was born free.
If you are listening to the podcast, you're not going to be able to see the amazing frag bottle breacher device that Bottle Breacher and Mike Wall has designed for the People's Patriot Project. And we know that on site, this coming event, we will also have the 50 cal Bottle Breacher device. What do you call it? Give me the nomenclature.
So,
how do you say it?
Well, I guess the frag, Freedom Frag, it's fragmented grenade, right? So you throw it and it explodes, and it's a training grenade. So I mean, all of our other, like the Bottle Breacher, it's interesting because our brand is the same, same connotation as the actual product sometimes, which can be a little bit confusing. But it's a Bottle Breacher, but our brand is the Bottle Breacher. So it's a once fired 50 cal. All of them are once fired, minus the frag, like we talked about before, because that wouldn't work out very well if you're trying to glue it back together. But so it's a Freedom Frag. So the People's Patriot Project Freedom Frag. It's kind of long, but with PPP Freedom Frag. Yeah. So
that's awesome. And thank you for all you've done for us. We're going to hear more about you and your product here as we get through the interview. Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why I'm coming back to you. I was going to say, were you done doing your sponsorships?
I think that's everything that I have so far. Oh, nope. I'm sorry. I did forget one more. We have Community Coffee who stepped up and sent, which is great, by the way, because, it's a veteran oriented event, but they sent an exceptional amount of coffee to sponsor the event. So my garage smells amazing. And I'm looking forward to the event.
There we go. Miss Pruitt, It's been a long time. We've been trying to get you on here. You're an amazing, busy person getting your craft out there. You travel the country to spread your music. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a traveler. I was born in Mississippi and raised in Louisiana, and went to Wentworth Military Academy in Lexington, Missouri. Started a career in college there, and ended up in Texas, and started honky tonkin. And I've been working professionally in this crazy field of music industry since 2009. I've been on stage since I was about 4 years old, and in a nutshell, my mission is to bring people hope through music and my testimony. And yeah, it's crazy. It's actually slowed down a lot for me. I've been on a new reset, new mission since about July. So um, yeah, but I haven't really slowed down. I've just stopped touring as much as I was. But yeah, it's been insane actually.
What is your association relation? Where do you stand as far as your experience with military and first responders?
So, like I said, I spent my senior year of high school at Wentworth Military Academy in Lexington, Missouri. I was a bad girl, and I ended up signing with the 2+2 scholarship. It was the officers training scholarship. And, I had to do 2 years of military science at the academy, and then 2 years of ROTC, and then come out as a lieutenant. And in a nutshell, my 9/11 happened, and I ended up getting pregnant that year with my son's father, and he stayed full time active, and he was actually shipped. And he did his first tour that year in Afghanistan, and I had the opportunity to stay home and be a mama, and so I chose to do that.
Well,
Ended
Amanda, go
ended
ahead.
up ended up giving up my scholarship to an academic and music scholarship to Central Missouri State, and I'm still affiliated, of course, with the military school in all sorts of fashions. And our school actually shut down 3 or 4. No, goodness, it's been so long. 2017, our school. We closed our doors, which so many military schools did. But I I love the military with all of my heart. I'm more army sided. Sorry for if that offends
Hoorah!
anyone.
Hoorah!
Um,
Cool.
and I wish, I have days that I'm like, man, I wish I would have gone and actually been able to serve like so many of you guys did, and my appreciation for those that did. I'm kind of jealous of at times, and I wish I would have taken that opportunity, but no tour of music or military or anything can ever take back the days of being a mama, and having that responsibility. So that's my affiliation.
Well, we appreciate you, and we know that it's a critical piece to support those that are also serving as a family member, and we know that that's an important and critical part of the mission. So thank you for all that you did, and you know what, it is that's a unique piece that females have to deal with, that males don't have to deal with when it comes to being part of life. I mean, and it does stop. No, it's a choice, but at the same time, we appreciate you and all you've done.
Well,
Um,
definitely. And just to finalize that one statement, with it being um, International Women's Month, you know, being the family of the active member is such a huge service in itself, and having to take care of the home and the kids and the bills and the responsibilities of everything, from being the yardsmen, the building maintenance, cars. I mean, all the things that a gentleman would normally do in an everyday life, the family takes on while they're at absence, and it's the
100%.
same way in music. So, I mean, I definitely feel like we have some active duty family members as well.
I think there's the key part to that when you say the women taking over these duties that are traditionally the men's, the men would handle when they were at home. I think there's a key part to that, and that there's women out there that do that on a regular basis already. There's single moms and stuff like that. But the key part is in the military world for a spouse is to have to step up and do it at a moment's notice, and then find a way to peacefully give it all back, a year later. And I think that's where the real struggle happens at.
Amen to that. That is definitely a challenge.
It is another level. Again, we appreciate you, Amelia. Amanda. I apologize.
No, it's
we appreciate you, Amanda. So we were prepping to get you on, and I was listening to some of your songs, and I thought there was one that really felt like it was an important piece for this time. And tell me about Strong.
Well, Strong, I moved to the pre-story before I moved to Nashville. We'll have to visit another day, but I moved to Nashville with my family, my then husband and 2 kids, and also my mother. And in a nutshell, I was ready to just get back to Texas, and I did not want to pursue this crazy nightmare. And I say that respectfully. And I mean, at the time, that's what it's been. And just the politics, the money, the games of everything that it was going to take for me to, be someone of substance here in Nashville. And so it was a struggle for me to be strong. And I was signed with I'm a graduate of Texas A&M, and I was signed to a publishing company in Nashville, and that was one of the main reasons I moved here. And that was Melody Roundup, and they're a Texas-based publishing company. And I needed to release some music because I hadn't released in a while. And so this song was given to me. And from the second that I heard it, I knew it was the song that I had to release. And so, yeah, it means a lot to me. The lyrics behind the song are the strongest ever. The video behind this song means a lot as well, because it was taken at the Johnny Cash's old farmhouse in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. And the strength behind Johnny Cash and his life and what it took for him to pursue his dreams, it really shows in the significance. So, yeah, strong. Gotta stay strong.
This is Amanda Pruitt with Strong.
They say make like a tree and leave this town. Pack your things and take your dreams. Don't even turn back around. I hear all their lies, but I believe I belong. I'm gonna make like a woman and be strong. The bright lights of the night shine on wet city streets, like midday on Broadway at 2:03. Last call left me missing my family back home. I'm gonna make like a woman and be strong. When I get knocked down, I get back up, catch my second wind, push come to shove. I stand my ground alone.
That is Amanda Pruitt. Strong.
That almost gave me. This almost gave me tears.
Wow.
Great song.
Good timing too.
It's
I
a
haven't
song
seen
that
the video in a while.
the people need to hear it. It's real. You need to find it. I have the amazing privilege of knowing the story of the young lady to my right, your left, Miss Winter, and I know that she's needed to hear the lyrics of that song many times in the past, just because her amazing story. And I don't know, it's all right to acknowledge, and there's a time and place, and I think we're growing out of this. And women didn't share their space because they didn't want to let others see that, and then men don't share their space because they don't want to look weak. And it's share and be strong. That's how we get our thing done. That's a great song. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you so much, for sure.
Miss Winter, do you got a poem for this week? I don't want to throw you under the bus.
Yes, I do. Let me bring it up. It's called Healing Like a Warrior on My Healing Avenue. It was inspired by Derek Iozio. Healing like a warrior on my healing avenue. I walk the walk and I talk the talk. Yes, I do. It's taken me all my life to get here, but more so in the last couple of years. Since I decided I wanted to live, seriously, I really did. I am flourishing better than I had thought and worth every battle that I have fought. Without therapy, peer groups, podcasts, I wouldn't grow. For this, I truly know. Thank you to all of you wonderful people who have helped me down from a scary steeple. I am so fortunate to have you in my life. Yes, this too includes my loving wife, for helping me to grow and do the things I do. Keeps me healing like a warrior on my healing avenue.
So good.
It's such a blessing here. Yes, dang it. Front row seats. It doesn't get any better than this.
I got
And
bumps.
Amanda, we need to get you Miss Kimmer's books is what we need to. There's probably a song in there for you.
Wow, for sure.
He does an amazing job. Mike Wall, let's do this, man. It's going to be hard to figure out the product if you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
But this guy has the items, the devices, the arsenal to get into your beverage drinking capsules. He has the devices. He has the armament. There is no challenge from 50 cals to frag grenades to larger rounds that I won't pretend I know. He will get into that bottle so you can enjoy your beverage of choice.
All right.
About that?
Thank you, sir. That was the introduction. I don't know how to follow Andrew or Kimmer and Amanda, but thank you for making me go after them. Appreciate that. My name is Mike Wall. I'm the owner of Bottle Breacher. We make bottle openers, badass bottle openers out of once fired 50 caliber ammunition. Also 20 millimeters, which are once fired out of, a C-130 or anti-aircraft cannon on a Navy ship, or a 30 millimeter that's fired out of the A-10, which is soon to be it's being retired right now. It's once fired. It's massive. It's more of a trophy piece. I wouldn't carry it in your pocket, but you do what you want. We bought I bought the company 2 years ago. It's a Shark Tank company. 2 years ago to next month from Eli Crane, who's now in Congress and representing Arizona. He owned 80%. Kevin O'Leary owned 10%, and Mark Cuban owned 10%. So I did buy him out 100% 2 years ago next month. I think more importantly, our mission is to breach the barrier between military and civilian life, right? I mean, that's the idea, is to help the folks in the community, and not only that, first responders. I'll go into that later, but I think more importantly, like, just so you understand, I mean, my team we're lean, but we're strong, right? I want to give a little background. We do everything from start to finish. So we're a manufacturing company here in Tucson that takes raw materials and turns it to the finished product, and then we sell to the end user, which is kind of unique. I mean, a lot of folks will distribute, and not sell to the end user, to the people that are actually, like the Amazon people of the world that want it yesterday. So it's a little hard to explain to people, hey, it's not coming tomorrow. But we reload, we cut on a CNC machine, we powder coat ourselves, with 2 powder coated booths and an oven. We laser engrave, we polish, we make sure that, whatever's going out. I use the analogy, and this may sound kind of weird, but I say, okay, so pretend your grandfather is a World War II veteran, which mine is. I said, and then you're going to give it to him. He's on his deathbed. It's his birthday or whatever. And I know this sounds morbid, but would you want to give that to him, that gift to him? And given the fact he was a veteran, so that's the mindset I'm trying to create, is like quality wise, it's a pride thing in what we're trying to deliver to, it's a gift. It's a gift, a memorable gift. So we try to really, hold that standard. So my staff is super important. George is a powder coater. He's a Navy veteran. Chris is outside sales. He's an Air Force veteran. Dale, recent team member. He's a longtime Army veteran, and he's in engraving. Joe, he's a manufacturing specialist. He does all kinds of things. He's a Marine. We have Nick. He's K9 law enforcement. He's engraving. Rochelle is my VP of operations. She's the daughter of an Air Force veteran. Tiffany, she's a spouse of law enforcement, which, speaking to spouses of service members, I mean, she's got a tougher, I'm not going to say tougher job, but I'm just saying, tougher job. I mean, they have to hold down the fort, and they're serving this country, the spouses. I will say that. And then CJ, he's got a family of veterans, and myself, I'm not a veteran. I am a civilian. But my grandfather was an Army medic. He stormed the beach in Normandy and lived, and he saw a lot of stuff he didn't tell me about, which I wish I wouldn't heard stories kind of at this point, given the fact that they're all passing, and but he was all over France. We did some research. My father was a Navy CB, speaking of CBs, and my stepfather is retired Tucson police. So in terms of it goes, like the first responders serve us every day as well. So that's been my focus. Our company's focus, both focus on veterans and active, and also first responders. What else? I mean, we make badass products. We've worked with the likes of a Beretta and 6 Hour and Jack Carr, and I mean, I don't have pictures or whatever right here, but I mean, we can put a logo. We have a graphic design team. We can put a logo like Mark knows on anything and make it work. And so I mean, we have some great B2B accounts. 30% of our business goes business to business, and then 70% is business to consumer. I kind of like to change that a little bit, because I think that I like to be more rely on some distributors and stuff, because it is hard going from, if there's a way to mess up, it's from raw materials all the way to the end user. I'll tell you right now, all the steps, so I'm trying to kind of switch out a little bit and go more towards B2B. Me personally, I would like to focus more on being less in the weeds. And last October, I got named an honorary commander for Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. And so I'm a part of the 354th Fighter Squadron, which is the A-10 wing. And all the guys are all deployed right now, ready to, do stuff. So I don't, I've been talking to the commander and other folks, but, I'm integrated with them. And my focus is to try to, with the honorary commander program, they make us feel really comfortable behind the walls of the base, is to try to get those guys in the business world, way in advance of them signing their papers, right? Like 5 years in advance, get them talking to people out in Tucson, because a lot of these guys, they're, you talk to them, they're like, I've been 20 years Davis-Monthan, and they're like, so who do you know outside? And they're like, I don't know anybody. It's their own community. So that's really the focus of what I'm doing outside of my my job here, my role here is trying to like make an impact with these guys that are close to Tucson and say, hey, come take a tour. Like, how do we get you a job beforehand? How do you, when you sign those papers, do you not feel like, well, I lived my best life. Like I was a warrior. I was a pilot or whatever the case may be. And now what do I do with myself? And I think that's the strategy is like being more proactive than reactive and being like, all right, here's these programs. How do we do that a 5-year plan in advance and get them outside of the gates? And so that's been my personal commitment. But I've been in the weeds a little bit, like I said, from raw material to the end user. So it's been challenging, but yeah, I mean, we I don't know where to go from here, but like we're a proud supporter of you guys, man, and what you're doing. I think you showed the frag, but I don't know if you can see this, but got a 50 cal that here. I'm not very good with this, but it's a good color for the. Here, try to put it in the middle here, but logo came out great, very detailed on the 50 cal. We'll be sending you some for the sales at the event in 2 weeks. That's cool. So that's exciting. You got that's the we can do a backside. We could do it. We haven't hammered it completely out, but we're ready to engrave 100 of them or even more. We the people. I mean, sorry, I'm trying not to be dyslexic here, but so so there you go. I mean, it came out really good with the colors. You got brass underneath, polish it up, and then showed you the grenade. I mean, we got for like nonprofit galas, we got a American flag, skull American flag, 50 cal. Try to use this camera here, and that's a little fancy, right? And then we talk about first responders, fire department frags, and you can check out our site. We got fire department frags. We got we have a border patrol frag that's not on our site that we're going to bring back. That 30 mil is a limited edition. The one's fired also out of the A10 and it's going away. So that's been a big seller for us. Is that 30 mil too? Is it's pretty badass. You sit on your desk in a box. You may not want to, like I said, you may not want to carry around in your pocket, but I mean, if you can see, I look at our website and the menu. It's really, we're catering to beer drinkers, but we're also catering to, it's a piece of history, and we're doing a lot of stuff for our first responders and for our military. So, and even to the extent we got a new product that's a 20 millimeter once fired cigar holder, cigar rest, which is cool. It's like, you smoke a cigar. It's flat in the bottom, It's like an ashtray. You can either rest it the other way if it's a fatty or that way. And it's once fired, man, with a projectile on it. And so kind of cool stuff, man. For those aficionados out there that want to smoke a cigar, that want to be, you got the one way to check is you got a dimple in the primer. It's been fired, right? So all the Alibabas and the Amazons or whatever they're doing out there, that's where we differentiate ourselves, right? And then we'll even do a cigar holder that's aficionados. You can personally engrave it what you want on it, but that's a little more fancy, right, with a black powder coat. But so anyway, it's hard to put on the website because people are like, "Oh, that's a cool picture. Like, what is that? You painting bullets? Or you're gonna go shoot it out of a gun?" We get blocked by social and stuff, and it's like. But it's more of a personal gift and more something that you got to hold in your hand to realize. So, and anyway, so that's why I am rolling out an ambassador program. It's called Boots on the Ground to try to get more of a direct approach. And it's not just for anybody; it's for the people that actually are behind the brand. But FYI,
absolutely, yeah. And that's the fun part is I went out and I was watching some YouTube videos of some of your. Maybe former employees, but also just the fans of the product. And there's like this cult following of it. You have an amazing product line, and it's classy, it's artful, it sends a message, it represents, and it's a great tool. I mean, this is my opinion. I mean, you're probably not going to go down. And this probably is an offensive statement too, as well. But I don't fall short of saying those things. But I'm guessing you're probably not going to go down to the library and sell many of these things. Right. But for your military aficionado, the ones that are the hoorah and the hooah and all the aboves, It's an amazing. I like it. I enjoy it. It's sharp. The second I saw it, I'm like, you got to have one. I called Mike. I said, hey, what can we do? What can we help? It fits our branding. Um, some of our people, you can open a pop bottle too. Okay. Just for those who think, alcohol, this and that. Um, we get it. We get it. We know that some of our veterans struggle in that space too. And we've had this conversation 1,000 times, and I enjoy mine. I'm going to enjoy it. I don't push it on anyone. And this isn't the public service announcement we have to do at this time. We're going to support Mr. Wall and have his amazing product. And he's got a ton of other stuff. If you go and do the YouTube, and I also have some inside knowledge because they used to do ammo cans as coolers, but you had to back away from that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I still do. Like we reinvented it. Eli did a combat cooler as a 50 cal ammo can. It had holes in the top, and I would tell you one thing that I've learned is listen to your customers, man. I try to reintroduce it, and they're like, "Why do you have holes in the top of your cooler?" Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why don't you make it bigger? And I'm not knocking the product before. I'm just saying. So I wanted a 40 millimeter can, big boy, 14 pounds. I mean, it's a big, like, I mean, I'm bringing it to the party. You gotta, I better have done my curls this morning, but like, I reinvented it, put epoxy on the inside, and you have to grind it down. And I mean, I have some cool things. If I did a birthday present for Ted Nugent, I did stuff for. You look on our Instagram page. I mean, some cool stuff, right? And a Scout Sniper from the Marines, a 50 cal custom thing. I mean, it's great. But the time that it takes, and I have a powder coating oven that is only so big. I mean, it's big. Don't even fit a car in there, but I can either sell 50 cals and get that out there, and or I can sell these coolers, these 40 millimeter ammo cans that are this big, and then you have to have the revenue to offset it. So I have to feed my family. I love doing it. It's like it's my garden, man. It's my piece. It's like I get to powder coat it myself. I get to grind it with down to the metal, powder coat it, engrave it myself, design it myself. It looks amazing. But also I got to make money. So I've been doing those and donating those to silent auctions for nonprofits, for these veteran nonprofits. So that's my give, is like, I'll do it myself and I'll send it to them, and they make $700, $800-900 on this thing. And it has their logo, their nonprofit logo on the side. And then on the top, it has the American flag, or, it could be a variety of things. And that's my give, is like, I take my time. I enjoy it. I put it on Instagram, Facebook, and then I send it to them, and they put it on a silent auction. And I send some 50 cals with it too. And that's it's part of like that's my garden, man. That's my time to enjoy, to decompress, and be an artist. I'm a banker by trade. I didn't say that, but like, I was Eli's banker, former owner, before, during, and after Shark Tank. So I'm a nerd, right? Like I'm a left brain guy. Now all of a sudden I get to be right brain, and I'm like, this is my garden. Like, since COVID hit, I'm like, now I get to, and I get to be free. I don't have to report to. I was the director of a commercial bank. Now I don't got to report to the regional president and feel like a little puppet, So like I'm not I don't have as much money as I used to have. I didn't make as much money, but there's a value to freedom, and it's invaluable. So that's my soapbox. But
I love it. Yeah. I love it, and we appreciate all the amazing things you've done for us already. And I have a feeling we're going to get to do some bigger and better things along the line, and we're excited to have you here, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Miss Amanda, what are you working on right now?
I was looking at Mr. Wall's stuff and just looking at different opportunities. We need to talk. I think I can help you with definitely some networking ideas. So, and I'll share this with you right now without all the details, but I have recently, since July, since this change, I have been trying to finalize my nonprofit. And in a nutshell, I've been working in and out of prisons for the last 4 or 5 years. And it's been just going in and, my mission since I started music was just to bring people hope through music. And so it was kind of influenced by family members being locked up all the time. And, we're supposed to visit the inmates and the prisoners. So I'd go in and I would share my testimony, share my song, and come to find out there's so many prison ministries, just like there's so many, nonprofits of everything market soul, you have a nonprofit for it. And so, I was super challenged again as one starting out, two being a musician, three most people only knowing me as a honky tonk singer, no one ever seeing other professional platforms I would ever been on. And so I was under these scrutinies of what the internet said or told everybody who I was. So I I told myself in July, all these crazy things happened in my career, and it gave me an opportunity to step away for a minute from the stage and put my nonprofit back on the front line. And I've been talking about it forever. And so, in a nutshell, in November, we kind of started the organization of things. My board and I finally formulated, and we are in the final processes out of Louisiana, Jonathan. Actually, it's going to be Covington, Louisiana. We're going to be filing. It's called Annie Mae Ministries. And in a nutshell, Annie Mae is a teddy bear that I was given when my father kicked me out of his house when I was 12. I was given this bear from my aunt, and it was a white bear, and that bear got so dirty. Anyway, we named her Annie Mae when I was 12 years old, and she's sitting back there on my kid's bed now. And an investor friend, he's become one of my greatest friends down in Pensacola, came to me about 3 years ago, and he was a person that was really invested into music on the beach, the coast area, but he wanted to tithe to a church, but he wanted to tithe, but he didn't want to tithe to a church or to an organization. He really wanted to get behind someone's mission. And so he asked about my prison ministry nonprofit stuff that I was working on, and then he told me his story about his grandmother visiting prisons. And so in a nutshell, he gave me a donation to help with the travel expenses of me and my band getting back and forth to all the prisons. And come to find out, his grandmother, who visited these prisons, she was also one of the inmates she visited was James Brown. And so, and you'll never guess what her name is. Annie Mae. I was waiting for y'all to guess. So her name was Annie Mae, and he kind of put the fire under my rear to get things rolling again. And with my teddy bear that comforted me, in some of my darkest times as a child, we now have created Annie Mae Ministries, which is going to be a nonprofit education program for inmates. I'm going to go in and share my testimony and song, and of course my mission of bringing people hope through music. But ultimately I'm going to use my degree, since daddy always says you don't ever do nothing with your degree. I'm going to teach inmates how to write songs. And just like the military and our veterans, and I would love to work in other programs with them too, if the opportunity allows. But when you're on tour, when you are locked behind bars, when you're at war, the only thing you really have is pen and paper. And I know you guys have written so many things in your time. I know in your time in service, in your time alone, I know I write all the time, and inmates, that's all they get. They get a pencil without an eraser and a piece of paper, and it's like a comp book, no binding. And so we're going to help them put those words to music. And those that don't really care for music, we're going to also have an author, publisher on hand to be able to teach these people how to build a work of art, either through poetry or through an actual book, and eventually be able to have some type of concert and or record this deal and sell this body of work for the inmates and their family. And all of their families are going to get an anime, a miniature anime. And so we're filing that as we speak. We'll have the finalizations of it. And that has been some of my biggest passions right now. Like, I want to just focus on helping people, and whatever that consumes and consists of, I'm all on board. And my point to all of this was spoke with a marketing guy a few weeks ago, and I've got to get all of you in touch with him. But his concept and theory is, instead of using social media and instead of using all these platforms that we are embedded into our brain that we have to use to be able to survive in our businesses, has got so many restrictions of it. Like, I can't talk about anything, just like I'm sure, gosh, I can sure all the walls that come up with Mr. Wall's stuff. My word, I can only imagine. My point is that we've got to create our own app, meaning we have got to get our fans and our audience to stop using those platforms and come over to our house. Come to my house to where I can let you walk in my house with no shoes on, to where we can, do whatever we want to at our kitchen table, because you are personally now putting me into your life. So it's Amanda Pruitt app that's going to be placed onto your phone, that's in your pocket every day. And now Amanda Pruitt's going to be in your phone or in your pocket. And there's no restrictions, to where I can get it down to demographics. I can get it down to topics. I can even get it down to me partnering with Mr. Wall and saying, hey, if you come into an Amanda Pruitt show, you're going to get one of Mr. Wall's gifts, and he's going to give you a 20% off discount if you show up at this event. And at that event, this person's going to give you something else if you go. So it all becomes a network of amazing friends and family that really support each other, versus the tragedy of getting on another platform and being booted off, or being so consumed with other things that people they barely have 3 seconds to know what you're selling, or you have 3 seconds to get their attention. And so anyway, the answer is the app and not the platform. And I'm going to shut up now because I feel like I'm rambling.
No, this is
Awesome.
this. People get confused in the fact that our Sunday night show is about the guests we bring on. It's about their nuances. It's about their product. It's about their image. It's about their marketing. And we've been and I'm going to say, we've been very successful in bringing boots on the ground organizations, people that have the like-minded processes. Yes, we are supporters of veterans and first responders. That's what we do. They're the ones that gave us these opportunities. That's the piece that we wanted to get the message out. And this is exactly one of the things that we're finding out as we were building the People's Patriot Project, is people were calling us, and A, they didn't know who to call. B, they didn't know where to call. C, there's so many muddied watered processes here, because we have, in theory, 50,000, 46,000 nonprofit organizations helping veterans and first responders. You're not doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be there to support veterans and first responders, answer the damn phone when they call you. Answer the emails. That was the comments we were getting. And at the same time, so all these organizations are muddying the water. We don't know what product you have. We don't know what you can do. We don't. And the thing is, if we figured out a way to work together, that's the key component right there. Working together, we could. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I don't like the price of gas, I personally am the guy that will go to my grave not buying it at a particular place. There are some product lines, and I don't throw it out there. I will not use you because your model, your method, and your means doesn't match what I believe in. So I'm not going to use you as a product. There's shoes I don't wear on my feet because of it. There's coffee I don't drink because of it. There are soft drinks that I don't drink because of it. There are beers I don't drink because of it. And I don't have to. And I'd like to bring to attention Kimmer's amazing product placement at this time, as she's taking a brief sip from her cup that's branded the People's Patriot Project.
Long work, Kimmer.
No, so when we come here on a weekend, we want to hear all the things. And what's crazy, stupid, dumb is those people that have served, those people that are due, don't know when to stop, don't know when to slow down, and don't know when enough is enough. And they're constantly on the go. And there's too many irons in the fire. I would like to have someone come in, and we're working on it, take the newsletter off Andrea's hands, and then we know that that's working. I'd like to have the production of the show taken off our hands. I would like those pieces. And if we could get the message out bigger, better, and badder. And that's how it works. I'm very intrigued in your product, Miss Pruitt. There's a thing, I think we reached out to a company before, but we could do an app that does a one-stop shop. We're going to talk about a call to action here, but I would like to have our call to action be automated, where I am sitting there and it reminds you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. It requires you to do the action, because I don't want to do something where we got enough of the automated stuff where, hey, I'm just checking on you. No, let's put some faith and some backbone into it and reach out to your brothers and sisters. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, an app that lets a brother and sister say, I'm struggling. Boom, I hit the button. And it breaks down demographically to, let's say your county, then your state. But people reach back, and the second you see that beacon go off, hey, you're struggling. What are you going? Do we need to go get a coffee? Do we need to go get a brewski? Do we need to go eat some escargots or something like that? Or what do we need to do? And the biggest part about this is building a relationship. I have said this from the beginning of our stuff. Be real, get connected,
Absolutely.
Have conversations, build relationships. Build relationships. I promise you, and there's only two people there's three, but Miss Kimmer's going to get it. But I love the reason why we put pause in the middle of my name is because I like to get my paws on you. I like to get to you. I like to have a face-to-face, and we were going to have a conversation if we need to have a conversation. There are people in the network, when they are struggling at their worst moments, will reach out to me. There are people in the network that are they want to check on me. That feels good, knowing that people are there. Okay. And I know that was a segue off of what you were saying, and I apologize. But when you said sorry, no, tell us the mission. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what we're getting done. Tell us where we need to be. That's the other piece, man.
I'm just to the point, and I mean, I, as a musician, have some of the same, I guess things that happen to me, just like in Mr. Wall's stuff. There's so many things, that you have to do, you have to follow, you have to be, you have to maintain, you have to do this. There's so many steps and check marks that have to be crossed off before you reach a substantial amount of followers or numbers. And it really gets down to, I'm 41 years old. I've been on stage since I was 4. As far as making it, everyone ridicules me that all the time. You haven't made it yet. I am on a different mission than what I believe some people believe making it really means. My mission is not to be playing in a honky tonk every night. Not that I don't love that, and I will always be a honky tonker till the day I die. But my mission is to provide somebody some type of hope. And I can't necessarily do that the way that I want to do that in a honky tonk. And as far as social media is concerned, I'm exhausted with it. Like, I can't I'm sorry. It's not that I can't keep up. I just don't want to. like there's too many platforms. There's too much to do in order to get. And I'm to the point where it is literally like what's real and what's fake, what's an effect and what's not, what is some filter and what's not, you know, on all sides of all markets and all professionals. Like it's become to the point where it's, to me, not even necessary. I've got my audience that want to follow me wherever I'm at. And if, as long as those people are committed and loyal, they're going to tell Granny. They're going to tell Uncle But Billy. Then they're going to bring them to my show, and I might sell one shirt. And then next month when I'm there, Uncle Billy's going to bring Aunt Linda. You know, so we all going to end up having a potluck and having a get together and loving on each other. And those are the people that matter, not the people that are out there that I really don't have control over anymore. I just want to focus on the controlled group that I do have and that are loyal to what I'm doing. You know,
love this. I love this conversation. And I mean, I don't want to. I'm going to call you out, Amanda. Here we go. We're going to get dirty, nasty.
Get dirty.
Let's go. You said earlier, Andrea's giving me the. We have no idea where we're going, right?
Oh Lord!
You said earlier you don't want to do the honky tonk thing, and that's not your mission. And maybe that's what's kind of maybe I'm going to say is the water getting into the crack here, and hopefully it doesn't get cold and freezes and create the bigger crack. But then you just turned around and said, yeah, but Billy brings Bobby and Bobby brings Susie and Susie brings you. It is your mission. You got this, and you got the tools. Now the piece that we need to have is the rest of us to come around to your side and say, hey, let's blow this stuff up and get her done. So different Bobbies and different Billies and different whoever shows up. And I don't know why these are all like Southern people names, but it is.
We can have a Mark. It's okay. Mark can come too.
Mark and Mike and like the regular normal names that everyone gets named.
You can even call me Uncle Mark if you want.
Uncle.
But I get what you say when there's a lot of stuff to filter through. And Andrea and I have these conversations almost weekly about, do we have to have another conversation with a dead end company that wants a piece of your pie and really isn't going to invest anything into it? And the people that are willing to take out of your back pocket for the sake of doing it because they think, and we fall for it. We fell for a grant writer this last year. I'm not there yet, but I'm ready to drop the name and let people know. You know, we bought into a grant writer that didn't do a damn thing. We're at it 1 year now.
That's scary.
And I'm saying that to kind of get Andrea all boiled up because she'll send an email this week that says, hey,
she's staying focused.
It's time to hyper again one more time. But you know what? We play the people play the nice people all the time. But in our bylaws, we actually wrote down that we also want to be the company or the organization that cuts the fluff. I'm not going to be a dick about it. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. But at the same time, if you're not doing what you say you're going to do, then get out of the way. Go away. And you know what? You need to be called out for it.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened to me in July. Like it's funny that you said what you just said about when I spoke to the attorney last week over the ministry, that was her exact words, because it's not that I don't want to not honky tonk. Like I said, I will always be a boot stomper and a holler and swallower. That's who I was. A hollerer and swallower. You got to say it really fast. Holler and swallow.
Something like that. A holler and swallow. I'm just going to lop off the back part altogether and just.
It's a Nashville thing. When you're playing it, it's if you're having fun, everybody holler on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then everybody hollers, and then you say now swaller, and then they swaller.
It's a contextual piece. You have to be there at the moment. I get it now. I get it.
I'll always be that, and it's not necessarily where I've spent 20 years focusing on filling 365 days worth of clubs that I'm so grateful for, my dear. Oh, wow. I mean, without them, I would not be. I will always be, that will always be my family and my roots. But and the attorney said, Amanda, those are the people that are going to want to be able to help the nonprofit. And you've got to stay in that environment, because a lot of people that are doing what you're trying to do are not going to those environments. So I get it. I do get it. But I'm on a mission to be able to help people. And in the 20 years playing in clubs, I don't feel like I've helped a ton of people.
I love the conviction. I appreciate you. I wish everyone had that same compassion. And I don't know how far this will reach tonight. I don't know how many people will hear it, but it comes back to, what are you doing? It was what I asked you to do last year. I know why I have this on a bright pink card right here, but I told you last week, put it on your mirror. I don't know if you followed or not followed or care or don't care, whatever. What are you doing? Here we got a woman that's out there doing it, getting it done, has the mission, the voice, the passion, and she wants to help more. What are you doing? Because if you're not doing anything, then you're part of the problem. And you know what? There's 3 missions on this page right now that are looking for people to help push, promote, and get the stuff out there. And so, gosh, I love this. And it's pushing our show into a longer show, which I zero complaints, because these are the conversations that need to happen. What next song would you like us to put up for you, Miss Pruitt? Find a Way, The Last Train. Did we lose your mic again? Or I didn't hear you.
Nope, I don't hear it. Got nothing.
Find a Way 1, The Last Train 2. 1, 2. All right. This is Miss Amanda Pruitt with Find a Way.
There's been a revolution within my soul. I just need to let it go. Let it go. My spirit is stronger, and I pray a little longer for the truth. Yeah, I'm looking for the truth. I finally looked beyond the glass and found the little girl looking back. Yeah, she's looking back. I've spent too much time worrying about other people have to say, but not today. I get mad at everything I have. I raise a lot of pain, 'cause I've gotta make a change. The tears are gonna fall and break down the walls. I'm standing on the fragile side of fate, yeah, just trying to find a way, find a way, oh, find a way. It's been a long time coming, there's no more time to waste, no time to waste. If I wanna keep the lights on, I'm gonna do whatever just trying to find a way. Gotta find a way, yeah. Just trying to find a way. We'll find a way, yeah. Oh, I gotta find a way, yeah. I gotta find a way. Oh, I gotta find a way. Ooh, I gotta find a way. I gotta find a way. Oh, I gotta find a way. I gotta find a way, yeah. I just gotta find a way.
That is Miss Amanda Pruitt with Find a Way.
Thank you.
What is,
Thank
who
you.
is your music inspiration? I was sitting there listening to that, and I'm just like, I know this dates people, but that song took me all the way back to like rolling vinyl and just sitting and like in a rocking chair scene and just taking in real life air.
Right. So if you'll actually look at my logo where Amanda Pruitt is, that's an actual old vinyl record. It's a real actual record that we took a picture of. That's funny that you say that. The mission of the entire album of Needle in a Groove was to, one, get back to my roots of Louisiana. And I've been away from home, my word, since I was 17. And, you know, I've just started working back in the parts probably for about 2 years now. And I'm in New Orleans the first weekend of every single month. And I'm trying, and I'm affiliating with a lot of different prisons and jails in Louisiana as well. And so, in a nutshell, my mission was to bring it back to the highway, to bring it back to as traditional recordings as possible. This was recorded with War Paint Records with Josh Newcomb, and he uses a type of system that nobody really uses anymore, and to where we wanted it to sound as much as we could like a record versus just to see something different. And if you heard Strong versus this one, it's two completely different sounds. And as far as genre and so forth, you know, I've been raised from Mississippi to Louisiana to Missouri to Texas to Tennessee, and all of these collections of genres combined brings who I am. I'm not country, I'm not blues, I'm not rap, I'm not R&B, I'm not gospel, I'm all of it. Absolutely all of it. And Find a Way and the entire Needle in a Groove album is the album that actually helped me get into a position to look the little girl in the mirror that's been hurt, that's been through all this crap, and say, you know what? No matter what Facebook says you can't post, you still got to find a way. No matter what the industry says, whether I'm too fat, got a big forehead, too old, whatever, to wear whatever Mr. Wall, whatever they tell you can't do, you got to find a way to do it. And that's what this song is about. Like, I got to feed my kids. I got to find a way to do it. Like, no matter, yeah, but it's a good thing to take a day and play a fiddle and eat lots of ice cream and cheese.
You got to have the fiddle, man. I'm telling you, I get in trouble all the time. Yeah, we won't go into that story, but I yell, bring the fiddle, man. If you get well,
Yeah.
you know, Mike, I'm in a spot. The question is going to come to you. What are you working on, brother? And apparently there is some new developments as of recent minutes. You can share if you want, how you want, when you want, or what are you working on now, Mike?
Well, no, I mean, honestly, as part of like I said, the program Boots on the Ground with, so I call it Boots on the Ground for both brand ambassadors that are vetted and nonprofits that are vetted. Because I will say that the one thing for my banking background that was beneficial is I used to look at GuideStar all the time for nonprofits, and it was now Candid, I guess, right? I look at their financials, and it's not always updated, but I've seen veteran nonprofits that have 25 million in revenues. I think we shared, and I'm not going to mention names, but have $95 million in a brokerage account, right? I'm like, well, okay.
Wow.
I would get it if they had $1 billion in a budget and 95 million in brokerage accounts, 10% of their revenues or whatever. But there are nonprofits that aren't serving, that are big, that aren't serving. They're not putting their money into program expenses that they should be. Bottom line, but it doesn't show it on their site, obviously, And so, like, I do, when I look at nonprofits to support it, I do vet them and make sure that they are legitimately putting their monies back into the community, into veterans. Because imagine having $95 million. I don't know how many veterans that could help with their different causes, but I think that's a lot. And so that's my challenge is, so like you guys, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of people running on a shoestring budget, or they're putting all their money, their volunteers putting money back into the community. And those are the people I want to support, right? So as part of like the leg for Boots on the Ground for the nonprofit component, I'm vetting those as well. And so I just created a cute coupon code real quick. So 15% of any sales using a coupon code well, number one, there's a 50% coupon code. It's WeP3 that I just posted. That's for any customer site-wide wants to get 15% off our site. You get 15% off, and then you guys will get 15% off, and 50% of the revenue. So total 30% all in for me. 15% of revenues will go back to you guys for the form of direct deposit. I'll need to get your tax ID and stuff. But so, and that is where, like, I want to support people that, okay, the customer will get 15% off, and they know they're giving to a good cause, and you guys will get 15% of the proceeds on a monthly basis. I'd like you to be the first one to start this whole Boots on the Ground veteran nonprofit arm, whatever. And that's what I was just thinking, you know what, this would be perfect. So that's what I just posted. It's active. You guys want to buy something, anything on the site, 15% off, and then you guys will get 15% on a monthly basis ongoing. And so you want to deploy your marketing however you want to do, that's fine. And I will do the same. But I do think that I want to support people that support. Actually, their money goes towards people than rather it goes in a brokerage account and earns $5 million a year and doesn't do anything but sit there. And anyway, but
I guess.
so, but yeah, no. So I just posted it right now. I hope that people use it, and you guys can use it however you want. I'll give you access to our influencer dashboard. You can track your sales and your commission, so you can see what's going to the nonprofit. But I think it's a thing. I'm trying to have marketing material coming out in the next week or so for select nonprofits that be part of it. And I really want to Boots on the Ground. Our product is best served in person, and so that's my mission. So expand the program. So
you're an absolute inspiration and blessing, brother, and we appreciate you. There's a lot of people chiming in right now. James, we got to get into communications as well. I've been talking to him this last week. That same conversation's happening. Thank you, Mike, for that amazing. That is a gift. That is how ultimately at the end of the day we get to take care of veterans and first responders and get the mission and the word out. What an amazing, I'm in awe, shock and awe. I just thank you from the beginning.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
I can't tell you, we don't do a good enough job of shouting out the amazing things people do, even though that's what we do, because we do want to celebrate the positives. We don't get tied up into the negatives. Don't get me wrong, I have my moments, and I was challenged this last week, but I'm done with it. And we will definitely not forget the tacos. We need to do like a little hidden taco thing sometime during the show every time, and or have a taco run across the screen or something. But it is essential. Again, we turn around and have these conversations and turn around and say, look what Bottle Breacher is doing and making a difference. Because here's the deal. When some people sometimes say, well, why do you share publicly all the things you're doing? Why can't you just do it out of the grace? You're right. We could. I wish we only had to do it by the grace of doing it. But why we present it is to show other people that people are out there helping people, because they don't get the big picture. And so if we're doing it, someone else should be doing it. And that's our philosophy. I don't do it to bring recognition to me, or Andrew doesn't do it to bring recognition. None of the people on the screen do it to gain recognition for the purpose of it. We're doing it to show you that people can be boots on the ground making a difference for other people. That's what it comes down to. Boom.
That's awesome.
Well, we're at the 7:30. Should we get another song in? Let's hear what's next. Pruitt.
If you want to. So when I moved to Nashville, they told us that I had to write, to be successful as a songwriter, you had to write these certain topics of songs, and you had to write a song about a gun, a dog, a truck, a tractor, a train. And this is my train song. I did a lot of research on this song, and I was actually about Louisiana, and parts of it are true stories, and it's about a grandfather giving his life up for family, and us having to keep going. And yeah, this one's called Last Train.
This is Amanda Pruitt with The Last Train.
Southern Lake Pontchartrain, been a black cloud floating that Delta breeze ever since these tracks were laid. In a lean-to tent, granddaddy slept with a hammer right under his head. Can't move west, he got left, didn't listen when the foreman said, the last train rolls out of here at midnight. You can see the stain blowing in the moonlight. When you hear that lonesome whistle blow, that's a sign it's time to go. The last train rolls out of here at midnight. He was all alone at 17, out in the Pearl River wild, laying down his roots he didn't want to leave on the Mississippi line, in a little mud house with a kudzu roof and 2 new babies to raise. The crossroads of the life he chose, and the one that rolled away. The last train rolls out of here at midnight. You can see the stain blowing in the moonlight. When you hear that lonesome whistle blow, that's a sign it's time to go. The last train rolls out of here at midnight. He could have moved back to the city. He could have had a whole new life. He could have rewrote the story if he just backed up his pride. He might have been more than a railroad man, might have been big and rich. He might have been dealt a better hand to hand down to the kids. We grew up in the footsteps, knee deep in this swamp. He's long dead, now I guess it's up to me to right this wrong. The last train rolls out of here at midnight. You can see the stain glowing in the moonlight. When you hear the lonesome whistle blow, that's the sign it's time to go. The last train rolls out of here at midnight. The last train rolls out of here at midnight.
So that is Amanda Pruitt, Last Train. That is
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
a
Thank
ton.
you.
It's
Thank you.
how do you feel when people walk up to you and compare you to another artist?
Well, you know, I get the "Are you Lainey Wilson?" every day.
Oh, I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
And so it makes me feel humble. You know, it does. Lainey's doing some awesome stuff right now as far as where she's come. She's very, very real. And so I I, I appreciate the comparison, but always, of course, want people to hear who I am. So our music is a lot different for sure.
We get very excited and we get very protective of the artists that we have on our show, and because it becomes something different. I mean, I was down at the CRS this last week. For those who don't know, that sounds for Country Road, Country Radio Seminar, and that's you sit there and you watch, and there's no relationships being built. It's business. We like to treat our artists a little bit different. When we like to continue in the dialogue, and we like to continue on how to make their life better, and we really struggle with. We never put our artists, and they're not our artists; they're just artists that have been on our show. So we've had that fight too. Oh my gosh, I called them their artists. They're not their artists, and I get
I can be your artist.
Thank you.
It'll be fine.
Thank you, Amanda. We're going to sign permission slips later.
Okay.
We never want to rank in order any of the artists that come on our show because they're all super talented, super amazing. And I just like, you know what? Why would I bide them by each other? We've got such an amazing line of people that have got such an amazing talent. And I struggle with, hey, that really sounds like this artist. Because I want our artists to have their identity. This is me, hear me roar kind of stuff. And that's why I try very hard. I wasn't going to bring up Lanny. There's an artist, I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds a lot like this person. But, and I appreciate it. I mean, Lanny's the top of the industry right now. And
right. I get compared to Janice all the time. Janice Joplin, Bonnie Raitt, Susan Tedeschi. And as far as looks, before anyone hears me, Lainey all the time. But, you know, I don't know. I've been so organic my entire career. Like, the industry has always been confused with who I am or what I'm doing. And so it's always been a challenge of mine to put a definition behind it. You know, one of the number one things we get asked as artists in booking is, how many people are you going to bring? What kind of music do you sing? And it's like, well, it really depends on if it's cold or raining outside. And it really depends on if your audience wants me to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, then we're going to play that. So, sure. I mean, you know, I've gotten really past in my time here in Nashville, which I'll be here 8 years this year, I've gotten past all of the facades. I first moved here, I was a huge part of a magazine, and I was doing a bunch of freelance work. And no kidding, I mean, I spent thousands of dollars rubbing elbows, attending the events, going to the festivals, paying for a space, a cubby hole, making signs and promo and merchandise. I mean, for just, I'm not going to call any names because I'm grateful to those things. I'm not putting any of those events down. They can be super beneficial for your audience. But at the end of the day, you're spending 3 days at an event, and you have probably spent about $7,000 to $8,000 in promo material or getting there. What did you gain from it? And the thing is whether you gain one fan or no fans is not really the thing. If you cannot go away from that event being successful or feeling successful, then it wasn't productive. And I would just much rather put my time and my money in places that I think are going to not just be beneficial to me, but are going to be beneficial to the nonprofit, be beneficial to the people, to all things involved, not just that thing. I'm a little jaded. Can you tell I'm jaded?
No, So here's the deal, Amanda. We spend enough time with artists and musicians that we know the narrative, sadly, and that's not. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. I mean, when you go to your shows, you're selling tickets and people are coming and watching. But at the level of, okay, let's put the. Why isn't Amanda selling as many records as Lanny Wilson? I mean, this is my opinion. I get to say this is mine. You're just as good. And we don't get those, and we have these conversations, and this is, again, a piece why we're doing this. People ask us, well, why do you guys have a radio station? I go, we have a radio station because it allows an opportunity for those that never have had a chance to be on a radio to have and say, hey, look, I'm on the radio. When we did our WeP3 Nashville takeover, we did it for the sake of letting some people who never will have the chance to say they played Nashville. It's the time of their life. They got to play Tin Roof. They got to play Bold Patriot. They got to go down and onto Broadway. They got to do all the pieces. They got to go stand in front of the Grand Ole Opry. They got to have a bite of the pie, and they get to say, you know what? I got to play Nashville at least once in their life. And the other piece is we get to expand their listenership by letting people hear that talent, that raw something new that does. I'm telling you, me and Andrea got to sit into a studio and see how music is created. And you know what? They can buck out a song in less than 3 minutes these days. And these are amazing and talented artists. But guess what, folks? You're not listening to the raw, real, independent opportunity that isn't like literally mechanically created. The music that is on your virtual radio right now is mechanically created. And I'm not faulting anyone for that. It's an amazing content. It's amazing writing. It's amazing artsmanship. But at the end of the day, you've got this pool of amazing artists getting songs written for them by someone else and or a team of people, and then it's mechanically put together at the end of the day. And again, it's not an attack, because guess what? I'll go listen to Jelly Roll. I'll go listen to Blake Shelton. I'll go listen to Lanny Wilson. I'll go listen to Jason Aldean. I will listen to these guys, Aaron Lewis. I will listen. But it's not real.
Ultimately, I don't mean to interrupt you, and I do apologize for that. But I hate to say this, and it's not just music, the music industry. It is it's every ministry, it's every market. I said music ministry. It's not just the music industry. It's all business. It's plumbers, it's contractors, it's the real estate. And if there's enough money on the table, any label will pick up. If I had enough money on the table, I
Right.
could walk in without an appointment and talk to the receptionist at any of these major record labels, put them a good $300 to $500,000 on the table, and say I've got what it takes, and they will sign me to their label. And either I can triple that money in a year, and they'll keep me, or they'll use my money that I just gave them to
Right.
create this image that they think the algorithms are going to be attracted to. And at 41 years old, that's the algorithms are not necessarily attracted to that 41-year-old image anymore. Do I think it's still possible for me to be able to gain a substantial career in music? Absolutely. But I've got to do it a different way. One, I don't have people that are throwing $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 at me. I don't know how people get that opportunity. For him to say that there's nonprofits with that much money just hanging out in a bank, and I'm just now starting my nonprofit, and I'm about to have my first event to just get a nest egg. It's like, oh my God.
Yes.
It's like the reality of what a dollar means to any business or to any structure. That is what makes the difference in success for musicians or me, and not success in that level. When you ask that question,
Sure.
is why is she not? I have finally come to the realization that if it is God's plan, it'll happen. And I
Yeah.
just, in the meantime, want to produce songs that mean something, material that is going to make a difference, and hope that is going to give someone 1 ounce, just a small ounce to live. I've gone in some of these prisons and I get letters afterwards, and they're like, I didn't kill myself tonight because I heard you sing. And I'm like, and I only had a second or maybe 45 minutes with these people. I sing in some clubs sometimes. They'll follow me to another show and they're just in tears overhearing The Last Train or Find a Way or whatever. And it's like, I know I have an impact. I know I'm changing lives when people hear what I'm doing. Now, how do I get to the level that is considered famous? Do I even want to be at that level anymore? Like, I'm okay hanging out with y'all on a Sunday night. You know what I mean? Versus having to deal with the stress that is going to consume. Now, do I want that? Of course. I think every artist wants that. I've sang in mirrors my whole life with a brush. You know what I mean? Like, I will always want that. But I think by me changing the focus of that being my only energy is going to change the game for me. My energy has got to be focused on other people. And for so long in my career, I have focused on Amanda Pruitt. Amanda's got to write the song. Amanda's got to get the deal. Amanda's got to do this. Amanda's got to feed the kids. I got to get the jobs. I have to do it. Versus maybe I should start putting my songs into people that need to hear them so they don't kill themselves tonight.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Amanda.
So
You got
that
this.
that alone is me making it. I
You're
live in a
doing it.
camper. I live in a camper in Nashville. I'm on the road every other week, and I live in and out of my car in hotel rooms. And I play for honky tonks or house concerts or benefits or anybody who will pay me to sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Whatever's going to pay the bills, and that's what we're doing.
Bless you,
I
Miss
don't know
Ike.
what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but I'm going to keep on kicking the can and hope that it lands in someone's lap that's got $500 million hanging out in a savings account somewhere.
You got it, sister. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep talking. We don't know that we got the plan, but we have a plan that works. And I think that we have a way to get people. Mike Wall, what's next for you, brother?
Let's see. It's a year of planning and execution, is what I said. I'm on a different path. I mean, I could piggyback on algorithms and stuff, but I will say that challenged with social media, going back to that, and I have to put my hand around the 50 cal. It has to be a lifestyle picture because they think I'm gonna powder coat a bullet and shoot it out of a gun. I'm gonna kill somebody. So, it's rough. I get restricted all the time. I have an appeal, all kinds of stuff on social media, trying to fight the good fight. And so it's constant. So yeah, I mean, there are some new social media channels and some other advertisement avenues that are about the people. But it's you consume yourself with trying to get around the rules and trying to be somebody you're not, and trying to be censored and everything else. So that's a struggle that I have. And so I think you talk about Amanda, you talk about touching people and getting people to like promote you, and not having $500 million is like the same thing. Like I talk about the whole boots on the ground thing. So like that's the idea. It's like, hey, get people behind the cause that you don't have to continue to promote through the Big Brother or whatever. And that's it's challenging. It's really challenging. Money talks and bull-ish walks, and
I love it.
Just anyway. So what's next is really just trying to, like I said, focus on distribution and scaling the business, and trying to make more of an impact, feeding my family, and just doing the right thing. And so, I mean, that's in a nutshell. That's my plan. So,
yeah. I don't want to say. I mean, sometimes I struggle. Here we'll have a transparent moment here, Mark Peterson. I don't want to play the game of I'm naive. I mean, I don't think I'm naive, but again, how the world works. I'm really excited what this panel of people can get done in a week's matter. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about what if we were working together, we can get done in a month and a year, and just making a difference, and just knowing where everyone's heart. There's a theme to this. Granted, I really wanted to call the show tonight "Holler and Swaller," but probably not. But the theme to this is that there's a nucleus of hope. There's a nucleus of help. There's a nucleus of people wanting to make this place a better place. That's really the theme. And I just want to say I appreciate all of you for your passion in what you do. And I do think that gets voided sometimes by the stuff that the shiny things that grabs our attention, the algorithm, like everyone's brought up tonight. Did I get enough people to see it? We will get people to see it. We will get people to see it. The connections that we had with CRS this last week will let us expand our people seeing us, the beacon, the green. You guys should be pretty. How do you guys feel about your colors in green? I mean, that's
cool.
Some people could get upset, but
I'm digging it.
Yeah. You can't. Our green can't go unseen. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's a good motto.
Yeah, and we're going to make a difference. We did it. We hit the hard 2-hour mark already. Great job, team. Everyone committed to 1 hour. We doubled up tonight. It was a BOGO. If you're still here listening, we will kind of wrap it up here. We do have to get through our final thoughts. Jonathan has traditionally taken the final thoughts. What do you got, brother?
There was a line from the second song, "Find a Way." Says, "I'm still standing on the fragile side of pain, trying to find a way." And it kind of goes with I guess my morning thoughts this morning, it kind of brought those back up for me. And it was, you have an opportunity to be the light for somebody who's looking to find the way. So take that opportunity and offer that helping hand and guide them to their game where they can be the light and make the circle bigger, the light brighter.
Miss Kimmer.
Hi, I like to thank Mike for his discount code. I will definitely be using that. Amanda, it's been great listening to you and your music. I love it.
Thank you.
But if I could I end with a poem, Mark?
Yes.
Check in with your sisters and brothers. We all know someone. When they need help, don't run. Reach out a hand and lift them up, because they may have things building up, or thoughts of suicide may arise, or when their soul is feeling agonized. Just listen to them and let them know that you want no other place to go. Be there for them and allow them to cry. Let them get it out. Don't hurry or say goodbye. Take them under your wing as to protect them from the storm that they are currently in. The battles are real and the struggles from within. When they open up, allow them to begin. It may not seem like a lot to you, but you may not even know what they are going through. But for some of them, it's a release, a place to go. Be available to them and let them continue to grow. Do your buddy checks, a call to action. You may have started a beautiful reaction. Let others know that you care, because sometimes life isn't fair. Some of us struggle more than others. So always check in with your sisters and brothers.
Kimmer, damn you. You.
I got something in my eye right now. I got something in my eye. I have allergies.
I don't know how the hell you do this.
This is really why they let me go first, because nobody wants to go after that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man. You're the magic lady. You nailed it, sister. You nailed it. Thank you for being you. All right, Andrea.
Yeah, I got you. Let me think a minute. No, I'm just kidding. I thank you, Kimmer. That was awesome. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. We never know necessarily what we're gonna get. We hadn't met Amanda before. Peterson's talked to Mike, and it just always comes together. And we've honestly been amazingly blessed with the outcomes of the guests we've had on the show. There's not a competition. It's not. No, these are our friends, and we helped this many people this year. And what are you? You know what I mean? It's not. We've always insisted on our net needs to be bigger. Clearly, it needs to be bigger. There's too many people slipping through, and so this is a great example of the net being Arizona to Nashville to Minnesota to Louisiana down there and Kentucky. And so we're missing California. He did not show up tonight, even though I reminded him, but he'll be here. He'll be back. So thank you for being on the show tonight. And thank you for sharing your generous hearts and your talents and Mike, the boots on the ground, and the fact that you checked us out and made sure we were legit and then shared that just always goes right to people. Some people wonder, right? And they don't know how to look it up. So that's much appreciated. So just thanks for being here tonight. We want you here and we're happy you're here, and we'll be spreading your word as well. So thanks very much.
Would you like to share who we got next week?
I would like to share. All right, so we are going to. I'm excited. We're prime time, so I'm hesitantly excited Jonathan and I had this conversation. We will have Brian Witten, and I just wrote down Brian is here representing First Responder Influencer next week, and he'll be sharing his mission. And then Terrence Gawith. We usually have, or quite often we have musicians, but a few times a comedian crosses our path. So Terrence will be here to entertain us next weekend, which crossing over with St. Patty's Day might be just a perfect time for a little humor at the end. So we look forward to meeting them next week.
Miss Pruitt, what do you have in closing tonight, dear?
I didn't know what to expect either. You know, we get offers to come onto the radio all the time, and just with Mr. Peterson and knowing him a little bit through our paths in the last year, I think I put complete trust into him, not necessarily a bunch of investigation and just trust. And this is, I've been on the radio on and off my whole career, and this is the first time, one, I've ever spent 2 hours on a Sunday night, and two, I've actually engaged and been so interested. But I have learned so much. Like I'm just excited, and I'm over here jotting down notes because I'm just excited, and I needed that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing every weekend we come with. So all our guests have been amazing. There's not been a dud. Sorry, we don't have a spectrum of duds. It's all, we got a continuum. It's this big, but we're all on amazing side, and it gives me my proud papa moments in the fact that people that come on and hear the mission, hear the story, hear the passion, and knowing that we're all sharing in the same thing. In the fact that my brain has gone 500,000 miles, and I've already filled out 5 of these cards tonight about how we can collaboratively work together and make sure that we are in the same space at the same time, doing and making a difference. And that's all what it's all about. And I appreciate the accolades. And it's funny because this last week we did have one that came at me and kind of slapped me on the nose, and I'm waiting to see Miss Eichmann's eye roll, because they've told me to let it go, let it go, let it go. They even sent me the little song clip, "Let It Go," and it is funny, but you know what? It's that one that just needles you. It's like, come on, can't you see? Really, you're calling me out for this, but then I get 1,000 billion more compliments, and it's not about me; it's about we and what we're doing together collectively. I can't get done what our network doesn't allow us to do. And we build it and grow it every week. And the amazing team, Andrea, Jonathan, Kimmer, we've got other people behind the scenes that are doing amazing things. And thank you. We don't get to do this without you guys, period. Bottom line, done. We're working together. We appreciate you. We'll get mushy gushy. If you got time to hang, we already know you're giving us 2 hours. If you need to go, please go gracefully. We're good. We'll connect. But we do collaborate after our show, which is weird because it used to be a 1 hour show with about an hour collaboration. And we just literally pulled off a very easy 2 hour show. Not everyone stayed for the entire time, and that's fine. We love all the people that came in and participated. But at the end of the day, if you got time to collaborate, great. If not, thank you for both of you for being here. We appreciate you immensely. I do want to, and it sucks because we should do this at the beginning of the show and make sure we do our call to action. Everyone's got a phone in your possession. For those that are on the podcast, I'm holding my phone up just so you know. This is our call to action. Reach out to 6 people in your contact list and say, "I'm just thinking about you." That's it. It's that simple. Sorry, not sorry. You've heard my narrative before. I can go through it again. It doesn't matter. Reach out to one of the tough ones, one of the ones that you thought the relationship's over. I blew it. They blew it. We're not talking. I challenge you. I've got a couple of those regrets in my life. One was, in essence, the best man to my wedding. We had a separation. It was just a blah blah blah. You heard it. He died because no one checked on him. Bottom line, that's on me. I don't carry it hard. I don't carry it heavy, but it is something that I acknowledge. Reach out to one of those that you don't think that you can resurrect that relationship. Be the bigger person. We love what we do. We selfishly do what we do. We enjoy all the people that come on to our show. Thank you, both Amanda and Mike, for your amazing gifts and talents and sharing them with us tonight. Again, thank you for the WeP3 team for the things that you guys do. It doesn't get done without you guys. We appreciate you. And come see us tomorrow at 4:30 for our WeP3 weekly debrief. Check out WeP3 Radio. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you, everyone, for being here and being part of the mission. We can't get it done without you. We'll see you next week on the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6. Patriot Pride.